Is there a universe outside of Bravo?
Did we miss the training manual to our 30s?
No. Are they for real?
Thank God for our girlfriends. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Structured Chaos with Kelly and Kyra. We hope that you had a great week and that you're ready to laugh about how none of us have it figured out.
I'm ready.
Ready. She's ready to go, folks.
I'm ready. And if you see my arm moving, it's because Scout is kneading on my arm. She's making biscuits this morning.
Perfect.
So also if you hear any purring,
it's not Kelly, which
not
would
me.
be surprising, but it's actually her cat.
Yeah, you never know these days what's going on. But just thought I'd make that disclaimer. But yeah, it's this is our first time recording since daylight savings because last week we recorded on Sunday, and I mean technically last week it was after daylight savings, but at our regular time I meant. And when I came into this room that I record in, I was like, oh, the lighting is different because, you know, it's a little bit darker. So, but it seems to be fine.
Yeah, now we're lighting it up.
Yeah. But it's kind of
light outside now.
Yeah. How was your week? We didn't talk that much, I feel.
I know,
you were
I feel
busy
like
and I wasn't.
Yes.
So when I say we didn't talk, I mean you didn't talk. I talked.
And it's so funny too because the beginning of the earlier in the week I really wasn't, but then Thursday, Friday, Saturday I just have when I'm busy, I am busy. There's no happy medium. I'm either not doing anything or I don't have time to look and respond to anything.
Right. And I had surgery, which we'll get into. So I was doing nothing but recovering and texting you and waiting for your response. So, but tell me about your week first.
I honestly, I cooked and baked a lot, which I always love. So I made some cutlets. I did wings this week. I did some chicken Alfredo, and I don't buy Alfredo sauce. We make our Alfredo sauce from scratch. And then I made some cupcakes. I made brownies. I made a butter cake. You know,
were these just for anything specific or just for fun?
Just for fun.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Just when I'm making dinner, I just like to make everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I made a bunch of stuff this week, and I always I just love my house smelling good and cooking and feeding people. It's just great.
Nice.
And then okay, so I watch The Voice with one of my friends, and we love watching it, and it's just our thing. And this past week we started watching American Idol, and it's the first time I watched American Idol I think probably since 8th grade, since I voted on American Idol.
Right.
It was so good. Okay, there's only 2 episodes, so this is me telling everyone that if you haven't watched it in a while, this is the season to watch, because one person made me cry. I was literally sitting on my couch crying, and they sang an original song, and I mean, I just I'm a music girly anyway, but I mean, to be brought to tears by a stranger on TV, you know what I mean?
So are these the auditions?
Yeah, it's literally only 2 episodes in. And then this one girl, she was so good. Both the guy that I cried watching, and I wasn't sobbing or anything, but I was just why am I crying right now? There's just tears. It was so good. And then this girl, we literally rewound her 4 times to listen to her performance.
Oh, do they still show people that are bad?
Yeah. This one kid sang Corn. So then he was head bashing, and then he finishes his song, and they were can we see an example of something maybe softer?
And did he have one?
He kind of did. And it was funny because Carrie Underwood was the only one who knew the words to like both songs, and then on the second one she like got up and was like headbanging with him. Like it was funny. I mean, he didn't make it. Spoiler alert, he doesn't make it.
Okay.
But Brian from Backstreet Boys, his son tries out, and we were saying like again, like we watch The Voice all the time, so we're always like very impressed by them. Although they did get rid of this really good girl this episode, and my friend was distraught. It's like, I can't believe they got rid of her. And then we like went over to American Idol, and I was like, the talent is like, I feel like more superb. So I was like trying to like compare it to like a Nike Adidas. Like both are great brands, but Nike is the more household name, so people tend to just go to that, even though Adidas is great and offers the same thing. So I feel like you're just like getting like two different calibers of contestants, but both are great. But yeah, American Idol, guys, don't sleep on it this season if you like music.
I wonder if it's because, so you're saying like the talent that you were seeing on American Idol you felt like was better.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's because like on The Voice,
still both phenomenal though.
Right, totally. They don't really show like bad people on The Voice, right? I mean, they show like some obviously that don't get chairs turned around, but they're not like bad.
Yeah.
And to get even shown on TV on The Voice, like a producer or someone had to have like picked you because the judges don't know. Yeah. Whereas like on American Idol, it's like everyone just auditions kind of. I mean, obviously not everyone gets shown on TV, but it's like they just like let everyone come in and then the judges see them. Whereas on The Voice, it's like the producers or whoever has to like narrow it down before the judges see them kind of thing. So maybe they're just kind of like the ones on American Idol.
Yeah, but these like people like are raw talent that look good. So it's like I could, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But
so either both. My logic is off. You would think that would be the other way around then.
Both are great. So if you want to watch, you know what I mean? Like obviously like The Voice further along, but get into American Idol if you can. And then I've just been like trying to figure out what I'm going to wear to opening day. It's next week, you know, Structured Chaos. We're going to go eat some dogs and the pods.
Dogs.
First game of the season next week already. We're already here.
I know.
And so I just like don't know if I want to go their colors currently or like the classic orange and blue was my favorite. I just don't know. And they are redoing the team store. And so it is not going to be open until next Monday.
Oh, it's going to be like crazy probably.
I know they have like a pop-up store, but it doesn't have any of like the new like cool stuff. And so my friend was telling me, she goes, oh, I walked by it the other day. She goes, there's she goes, I didn't see much, but I did see a fully sequined jacket. I'm sure you're going to want that. And I was like, oh yeah, that'll be me. And she goes, yeah, totally sequenced arms.
Put it behind the counter for me. Save it.
That'll probably sell. But I told her, I was like, realistically, it probably is definitely going to sell out quickly. Which is another conversation. But we'll
see some shimmers up in that crowd for sure.
And I've also too been like waiting to kind of see what the weather is potentially going to be. Because I'm like, okay, if it's going to be this way, then I'll wear a jacket. And if it's going to be this, then I'm obviously going to wear something else. I have a feeling we're going to hit great weather because it's starting to warm up all this week.
Yeah. Obviously we're not going to say it on here, but do we know where our seats are? I'm assuming we do. Okay. We can talk about that offline.
We're always section 100. We're always lower sections.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. We will not be the first row like the last game we attended together.
Where the person sitting next to us had bruises all over their body from when they got hit with the ball a year ago and still looked like they got hit the day before. It's like, ma'am.
I still will never get over that game and everything that went down.
That was the craziest. You think my life is weird, but that never happened to me. That's for another episode, folks.
Yeah.
Maybe we can, when we do our Pods game recap, we can recap the last time we went to a Pods game and what happened.
So yeah, I'm just really trying to figure out what I want to wear. I'll probably have to order something this week because that's just like Monday doesn't give me enough time because I have to get some sneakers, whatever. Still going through a facelift with my house, and like I think I narrowed down what I want to do for a backsplash.
Okay, just
when I wrote that,
the audience knows, we have like notes.
Did you think that I was giving myself a facelift at home?
So we have notes for what we're going to talk about, and Kyra wrote home facelift, and I thought this was a beauty thing she was doing.
Well, it is, but it's not on my body.
I was like, why was this bitch acting so surprised yesterday on Zoom when I said she looked so snatched? She did an at-home facelift.
No, she didn't. So she was just looking snatched.
But like when I saw that this morning, I was like, "Oh my god!" She wasn't even happy that it had results. Like I was like, "Whoa, no wonder." Whatever she did looked great, and I noticed.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Done.
Anyways,
yeah, no, I meant my apartment is getting a facelift. Okay. So I picked some things out. I'm gonna start like living room, dining area, then move into the bedroom.
Okay. Nice.
And then I have I have the best clients, like all of my clients, like I can't talk about them enough, how great they are. Kelly's met some of them, and I just I really, really am lucky with my clients. Like
I was gonna say, the ones that I've met, like that came to our party, the ones that I've met are so nice. Like everyone was so nice.
They make me the woman I am today, like for sure. And I have this really great couple that lives in Orange County, and it's like so weird. Like she got referred to me in 2020 because she works for ESPN and she used to live in Connecticut and go to one of like my old coworkers, like back from when I was like 18. And so when she moved back to California, she was like, "Hey, like, do you happen to know anyone who does hair?" And she was like, "I don't know how close this is to you, but I do know one person." And that's how, and so we've she's been my client for like 5 years. And so, and I do her husband's hair and her hair, and they just take such great care of me. Like we're like friends, family, and and so I couldn't get them in on my schedule. And so anytime that happens, like I'll gladly go to their house. And so I drove up after work and spent the night in Orange County, and I just love their entire family, and they're building a pool right now, and like the pool was like the talk of like the last year, and just like whether they were going to get it or not. And obviously they were, but Ben had to try to talk a big game, like he wasn't going to get the pool. And so when I pulled up, I saw that there was a pool sign in the front, and I was like, oh, like the pool started. And so then I walked back, and I was shocked at how much was done, because I was just there 4 weeks ago. And I was like, I can't believe you guys got all this much done. And they were like, it's been crazy how much they were able to do in such a short amount of time. But not that they had stuff in their backyard, but they had like a pergola. And they have like an ADU unit because it's like his mom lives there. And it was crazy how huge the backyard looked, like with the pergola gone, even though it wasn't taking up anything. And I was just like, I can't believe you guys have this much space back here. But so I was like, I ended up having to go back again the next time. And I was like, well, I said, Patty, you might be getting a new roommate in your ADU over there. I was like, because once this pool is in, I'm lounging. And so the wife, like Sonia, she was like, and over here, Kyra, this is where we're going to be sitting. And she was like, this is where our built-in chairs in the pool are going to be. And I was like, oh God. And Ben's like, and where will I be? And we're like cleaning the pool.
Yeah, you didn't want this pool, so we didn't factor in a chair for you.
And they her husband is like so tall, and so they have like the jacuzzi and the pool are like together, and they had to do like low seats and like his dad and his brother are all tall too, and so his dad was over for breakfast yesterday, and he was like, they were telling him like, we got like, don't worry, we have a seat in the jacuzzi for tall people, so one side is for tall people and one side is for regular people.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's smart though.
So smart. So that was kind of like my week. I've just been like on the go. I honestly didn't hit any traffic on the way home yesterday, which I was shocked by.
Oh, interesting. Nice.
So yeah.
Awesome.
So that was my week.
Very nice. I had an interesting week. I had like multiple doctor's appointments just like for different things, and they randomly like all fell within the same week. So that was kind of annoying, and we had lots of rain. So that was also annoying to have like all these appointments.
To go outside.
Yes, and
that's
just
how
like
spoiled we are here. Like, we had to go outside.
I know, and like it's just when it rains, like everyone's running late, and it's just there's traffic. It's just like annoying. So that was just kind of blech. The main appointment that I had was this procedure that I was going to be having, a dental procedure. That I was told was a very simple procedure. And I had that on Thursday. And so I took the day off work because I knew that like, I mean, it was just, I wasn't being like put under, but I knew that like,
gotta
whatever.
get procedure done.
Yeah. And so, and like, okay, so that day was like probably the worst ring day, Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And so my appointment was at 8 a.m. And I wanted it to be first thing in the morning because I just like wanted to get over with and then like relax the whole day. And the dentist was late for that. But I mean, it was fine. Like it was not his fault. But it's just people are always late because there's accidents and whatever. So anyway, I had to get there super early. And then, I had done the consultation for this a couple weeks ago. And so they kind of told me what to expect, I thought, which was just basically like, it's not that big of a deal. It's like called a gum graft, and it just has to, like, my gums are thin and receding and on this one tooth. And it's like, whatever. There's nothing I could do about it except get this surgery and procedure, I thought. But then when I get there, they're like giving me post-op instructions, including like, okay, you have to pick up your antibiotics, your narcotic pain medication. Meanwhile, okay, my mom's in town. Like, she doesn't live here. She's in town right now. And she had asked me like, oh, do you need a ride there?
Also, like, I don't work on Thursdays.
Well, I know, but I didn't think I needed a ride. They told me it was like getting a cavity filled. Like, you get numb. And then I had told my mom, I said, oh, no, like, I don't need a ride, but I'm going to come over. She's not staying with me. She's staying with our family member. I said, I'm going to come over after and, like, hang out with you for the day. And, like, she was like, okay, I'm going to, like, she got me, like, soup and stuff like that. And I was, like, excited that she was here because she's like, I'm going to, like, take care of you.
Yeah, you're like, I got my mom.
And she's usually, like, not here, obviously, when I'm, like, sick or something. So I was like, oh, yeah, I get to be, like, a baby. And, so I was like, okay, yeah, I don't need a ride, but I'm going to come over after. So I go, and it's funny because we talked about this, me and you talked about this, I think on like our dating episode or something. Like, a lot of people will say like, oh, you do X, Y, and Z alone, or you would do that alone. It's like, when you're single at our age, it's like, it's not something you think about. Like, what choice do I have? Like, and this is, okay, I know I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent. This is not something that's like that serious that I'm like, oh, I couldn't have gotten a ride. If I really needed a ride, I could have gotten one. Like Kyra just said, she was off work. I wasn't looking for a ride because I didn't think I just weren't
aware. You didn't
I wasn't aware. Mm-hmm. But even like some friends that I mentioned this to, like, oh, I'm going to get this. Even when I said minor procedure, they're like, oh, you're like, why would you drive yourself? I'm like, it just never even crossed my mind to have someone go with me because I just do everything by myself because if you don't have
right.
a partner, it's like, why would I spend the extra time to get someone to go with me?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, basically, so
I wouldn't have gone with you. I just would have picked you up.
Right. Fine.
Just kidding. I'd have been like, just have the front desk call me.
Right. So, but I had asked them during the little consultation, do I need someone to drive me? Because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be sedated kind of or whatever. And they were like, no, you're. So anyways, I go, and so they kind of they tell me all this stuff, and I'm kind of like, oh, this is like a little bit more intense than I thought. And they're kind of like, yeah, you can't work out for like a month. You're going to have stitches in your mouth for a month. The stitches don't dissolve. We have to take them out in a month. Telling me all these things, and I'm like, oh, like this is.
Holly the hater is not going to be happy to hear that you can't work out for a month because
I know.
your mile time.
I already can't run a full mile, and
going
now,
down.
Yeah, I'm back to square one. So I'm just like, well, okay. I mean, wow, this is crazy. So then I'm like kind of getting nervous, and
wow, this is crazy.
I'm like, but the guy was really nice, and he's like, what kind of music do you like? And he like put music on for me, which I thought was nice and calming.
Like, do you watch American Idol?
I just picked top 40. It was really nice. There was a rap song on at one point that was like, he was like, there might be profanity. This is not the
edited early, yeah.
The like whatever censored version. And I was like, okay, yeah. I was like, if there's not profanity, I'm leaving. Like, and I said it with a straight face, and he was like, okay. And I was like, just kidding, but like, it's okay if there's profanity.
He's like, oh, weird.
He's like, yeah, fuck. So anyways, but there was a song that came on at one point that was like very much like, it was like not a well-known, I've never heard it, but it was like some girl rapping about like just every cuss word, and like,
and you've never heard it?
Baby daddy, like, it was hilarious because it was like the periodontist working on me, and then his male assistant, and it was just...
And he's like, I think this might be her ringtone.
This is my new single.
And then someone called me.
It's the first time I've heard it on here.
Do you guys like this? I'm trying to get a poll because my label wasn't sure how people would.
And they're like, damn, this is a banger.
Scalpel?
So anyways, like the actual procedure was not bad at all. Like, got numbed, and it actually, it was less intense than getting a cavity filled. Like, there's no drilling or anything, and so it was pretty quick and like easy. They were like, you'll probably feel some pressure. I really didn't. Like, it was like quick, whatever. So then it's over. They're like, okay, yeah, you could, go home. So
done.
I go to the front desk and pay. And then I was like, oh, can I like use the restroom real quick before I leave? And she's like, oh yeah. So I have now talked to the dentist. I don't know if it's the hygienist, because he's like the periodontist assistant, but like whoever the assistant was, and 2 front desk people. I walk into the bathroom. I go pee. I go to wash my hands. I look in the mirror. There is blood splattered and dried on my face. Like, not just like a little dot. It's like blood. I'm like, hello?
Like, at the minimum. I'm not asking to walk out as if I've just left the Mac counter at Nordstrom. But like,
I mean, I was looking
a little wet wipe or something to perhaps clear the blood off of my face.
Or like, I mean, the girl at the front counter, like, oh, you have a little
blood?
something. What? And I almost didn't go to the bathroom before, because I was like,
I wish you didn't.
And I mean, thank God I did, because I had to stop at the pharmacy in Kaiser a 24-hour hospital.
Imagine you walk in and you just have blood on your face and they're like, is everything okay?
I walk in like in the pouring rain. Struggle, and it's a hospital where I go to the pharmacy, so I'm like staggering in, and my face is like a little bit swollen.
It's just the
I'm here to get my narcotics.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, so wipe that off. So then I go get my medication. So then my mom's like texting me like, where are you? And I was like, I'm at the pharmacy getting all of my drugs that I didn't know I was gonna have to get. I didn't know this was like a thing. So then anyways, I like go to my uncle's house, and then I'm like telling them about it and how it's like this pretty big deal, I guess, and so I'm like reading the instructions out loud, and it's like no spitting, no swallowing, no doing anything.
Kelly's not going on any dates for the next month because she can't spit or swallow.
Oh, also, one of the things that they gave me was this mouth rinse, and they were like, but you can't swish it in your mouth. So he was like,
I need everyone to watch this episode.
You just put it in your mouth and just go, and then open your mouth and just let it fall out.
That's going to be the clip.
And like when I brush my teeth, I have to do that too. But if you've ever brushed your teeth in your life, you know that like all the toothpaste doesn't just fall out of your mouth. So like you need to like be able to spit a little.
Yeah.
It's rough out here. No. And so, but I was like reading the instructions to my mom and my uncle, and like, it was like for the first 24 hours, like you have to stay still. And that like made me start laughing. And then I was like, I'm not supposed to be laughing. Like this is going to fuck up the stitches. And they gave me a little grocery list. And one of the things was soup, which was the first thing I ate. Like after a couple hours.
What's your soup of choice?
Well, I just had I had chicken ramen.
Okay.
Like a very simple, that's what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm eating it. Like I let it get kind of cool. It was like lukewarm because I didn't want, like, I'm not trying to
want to open up a wound. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The wound was still open. I mean, I was still pretty much in surgery at this point. So I'm just eating it. And then, so I ate the soup, and then this was on the grocery list. So then later I'm reading through the instructions, and it says, don't eat soup.
And you're like, I think people need to talk. I think we need to.
Getting a miscommunication because you gave me 2 pages of instructions. One said buy soup, one said don't eat soup. So anyways,
one said, no soup for you.
No soup. So I've been eating only on the left side of my mouth for the past couple of days, and so I have to do this for a month. And yeah, it only hurt like the first day, but
so we'll circle back to see if Kelly has gums.
Yeah.
And if she can go on a date.
Yeah. But other than that, the Ritz-Carlton stole my content.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. So basically, long story short, because I already have taken enough of your time with my story, I created, so I have the San Diego Scout, and the algorithm is just like not on my side lately. And I think a lot of creators are having this issue, but I'm just not feeling it. So my friend Alex was like, why don't you just like make a backup account and like start posting content and just like see what happens, and like see if like in a no pressure situation, just like post content that you already have
and see what kind of traffic you get.
Yeah. And see if it's because like maybe a new account, like the algorithm boosts it more or whatever. So since I've lived in like multiple places on the West Coast, I have like a lot of pictures from like Oregon and Northern California and like obviously Southern California. But so I was like, okay, I can just do like a West Coast account type thing and just make type of not memes, but like kind of like meme type things that
trendy,
people want
like,
to share.
Yeah.
And so those trendy things that are like this and blah, blah, blah. And so I have a bunch of like pretty scenic pictures and things like that. And I like the trend this and. And so I made one that said this and do not disturb. And the picture was these 2 cocktails with like a beautiful background. And it was from a Ritz-Carlton resort in Northern California. And it was like it's on a cliff with like an ocean view. And it was from like 8 years ago, but it doesn't matter when it was from. That's the
They
view.
liked it. Yeah.
And so I posted it. And meanwhile, I have 5 followers on this account because this is a backup account I started last week. So I posted it. It's a great content, I think. I posted, I tagged the hotel that has like hundreds of thousands of followers, whatever. So when you tag someone, it like sends them a direct message saying that it tags.
People know how Instagram works.
Well, some people don't. At one point you didn't.
How Instagram works?
You didn't even know how to space down. So
that's a caption. That's a caption. I know how to tag someone and that they get
Instagram.
And that they get an alert. On Instagram. Everyone knows you get an alert if you're tagged.
Not everyone.
No one's ever been tagged in a photo?
Privilege.
No one's ever been tagged in a photo?
Raise your hand if you've never been tagged. Maybe they don't have friends.
Please, I would love you to raise your hand if you've never been tagged in a photo.
What if they're embarrassed because they don't have friends and they've never been tagged?
Then they're not listening to us.
Yes, they are because they want friends.
Well,
Kyra, stop ostracizing people. If you've never been tagged, it's okay. I will be your friend, even if Kyra is making fun of you.
I'll be your friend. I'm just...
Okay.
People know that...
She takes it back. She didn't realize that some people have never been tagged.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't even have Instagram.
Okay.
I mean, they're losers, but it's okay. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. You're not a loser. Anyway, so it sends you a direct message when someone tags you. And so my post, my little account with 5 followers, automatically direct messaged this Ritz-Carlton account and said, this account tagged you in this photo. So they opened that message and it showed my picture, my thing that I posted, and they liked the message. They did not like the actual post on my page, but they liked that message. So then like 5 minutes later, when I like saw that they liked it, it showed that they had a story. And so I clicked on their story and I was like, oh, maybe they shared my thing, which thinking now, obviously it would have sent me a message saying they shared it, but whatever. So I clicked on their story. They created a story that was essentially the same type of view from their hotel.
Yes.
It was the cliff and the thing, and it was a breakfast setup, like breakfast food. And it said this and do not disturb in the same exact font with the same exact words, italicized everything. It was the same exact thing, just a different picture.
Just different location.
On their story. But it was the same location, but just a different picture.
Yeah.
The same wording, the same font, everything. And so it's like, I didn't make up this trend, but like, you weren't already going to post that. You saw my post. You didn't even give me a like on my post. So you thought, oh, this is like some small creator, just 5 followers. She's like trying to be a creator, whatever. She's a loser. This sparked an idea. So I'm going to do this. And I'm not even going to give her a like or acknowledge her and share her post, even though she's giving us free content when, most creators charge because you should. Not knowing that she has another business that has nearly 10K followers, which I've now blasted Ritz-Carlton on that account because,
So, Ritz-Carlton, we have one thing to say. Stop copying, be original, and if you are going to copy, give credit. Okay?
Right. I wasn't asking to be paid. You could have just posted it and just give credit, even if it's my account with 5 followers.
We'll take an ocean view room. Doesn't have to be on a holiday weekend.
Right.
All
will be forgiven.
Okay. Just like a quick little 3-night, all expenses paid, and we'll move on.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, that's that. So basically, yeah. And then yesterday I went to a fish market and
she's like, how can I represent Alaska in San Diego? And she was like, Obviously a fish market.
No.
So she's against people of Alaska.
So if you know me, you know that I did not do fishing in Alaska. And
Allegedly.
I actually have a blog post coming out about my lifelong
dream
relationship with fish, which sounds funny. But I'm working with this company that educates the community on fish, the fishing community, and like sustainable fishing. And I did a video with them in the fall about like eating sustainable seafood. And so this was my second and third video with them. My second will be my experience at the market. My third will be my cooking. But I just wrote a blog post for them about like my lifelong journey with seafood, basically, and kind of like how I grew up, like didn't really care for seafood. And even when I lived in Alaska, like didn't care about it, which was why I was laughing when you sent me that thing, like, did this remind you of Alaska? Because I was like, no, because when I was in Alaska, I didn't care about seafood. I didn't, not that I'm like fishing now.
She's against the fish. She's against the fish. She's against sustainable eating, you know, in the community. We get it, Kelly. We get it.
I'm not anymore. I wasn't ever, but I wasn't educated in it. But yeah, so I have a cool blog coming out soon.
Speaking of fish, reminds me, mermaid update.
Oh.
No more videos of it anywhere on TikTok.
Ooh, are we in danger?
So that leads me to believe that these parties are definitely happening.
Oh, we're in danger. Kyra?
Actually, this is a great thing that you're working with this company. We need you out on the boat. We need you we need you in the open sea.
Ooh.
And we need to be talking to the people that are often in the open sea and see, have you maybe come across a human tail?
You should have told me this yesterday before I went to the market.
Yep.
Because I was talking to the fishermen that are out there.
So we're going to need to circle back and get some more info from them.
Yeah, because I get motion sick very easily, so I can't be out there myself.
I will go for us.
Okay.
Or we could give you the little bracelets, the Dramamine.
Yeah, those don't work for me.
Okay.
So you could be the scout of the sea.
Told you.
Underwater.
That's how dedicated I am, guys. I'm actually heading straight to scuba lessons after this so I can get certified.
I'm going to get one made for you that's like this, and it's going to have
with the goggles.
Fish and mermaids. Yeah, it's going to be goggles instead of binoculars.
So,
okay.
Because the content is gone, I will be a licensed scuba diver and I will get our answers.
We told you we were oceanographers, okay? We were not lying.
Dedicated.
Okay, well, should we get into Bravo news?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
First, Valley trailer came out. It looks so good. I can't wait. Very tumultuous between Jesse and Michelle. It's looking like. And of course, you know, Jax being Jax.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a good season. I'm excited to see Lala on there.
Yep. Kristen gets engaged
and she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it should be a good season, and that starts in May.
Yes, maybe the end of April.
Okay.
Or May, but
I think it's like April 26th or something.
I think it's end of April. We'll put the trailer in the carousel this week, so it looks good.
And then I feel like we should just like start with what happened in the news, and then we'll go into the show.
Okay.
So the ongoing saga continues between JT and Vanita, and it's like every single week she looks worse.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. She looks so delulu. So after every show, they have like a after show that I think you can like watch it on Peacock or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so she's sitting there talking to Leva in the after show saying like, isn't that crazy? Like you had a whole girlfriend, but you're out here letting your friend like buy you a $5,000 jacket. And which like also isn't a flex. Like
Right. Like
you
you
still
look
look stupid.
insane.
Like, so she like alludes to the fact that she paid for this blazer for JT. And so Leva's like, well, did he pay you back? Like, I hope you got a Venmo. And she was like, we're best friends, girl. And
She said, that's a best friend.
or that's a best friend.
First of all,
Love
what?
ya. But
No.
I'm not buying you a $5,000 jacket.
Absolutely
because we're
no.
friends.
Ain't no world that I'm buying some loser ass man.
Oh,
at 5,000.
I was like, yeah, no.
No.
I have no in mind this loser ass person.
No, I would never buy a man who I'm like claiming is my best friend, but I like know doesn't even like me a $5,000 anything.
And so before what we're going to say next came out, I had like sent a video to Kelly and I was like, this man has a whole G-Wagon and he's like letting her buy a $5,000 jacket for him. So then JT is like, fuck that. Like, I'm going to show the receipts. He paid her back.
Mm-hmm.
So she like fabricated and alluded to this entire fake scenario.
And it was only $4,000.
Right. And then she put out a statement and she was like, you know what, guys? Sorry, bad. That's on me. Like, Leva asked if he Venmo'd me and he PayPal'd me.
I didn't see that part.
Yep. She put out a statement last night.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That was her excuse.
Mm-hmm. First
Girl,
of all,
bye.
exactly. First of all, you said what you said, knowing what it sounds like and not thinking that this man was going to show receipts.
If he paid you back in any way, shape, or form, then you didn't buy it for him. So he had said like she bought it for me because if you guys remember, he was hobbling around with the cane and he like left his wallet in the car or something. And when they showed them shopping on the show and he didn't want to go back to the car to get the wallet, or she was like, no, it's fine, I'll just get it because the wallet's in the car. And that's why she like initially fronted the money, which totally makes sense because
100%.
in that situation, like if you do have that money, that would totally make sense to be like, oh, I got it and like, you're gonna pay me back. But you would never say I bought this for someone.
That's crazy that he has a whole girlfriend, but I'm out here going on a $5,000 shopping spree with him. First of all, you're not. And second of all, again, it still doesn't make you look good. And you got paid back and he has the receipts for it. Like,
you're essentially his assistant at this point.
What is wrong with her?
It's really not looking good.
It's so bad, which then like gets us into the actual episode this week where via third party, something was told. A barber had told a client who's also in that group that JT had been in the barber shop, saying I don't want to misspeak. Essentially, what it was that there was a Black cast member that was like not bothering him, but
so he said, okay, so the barber told Ryan is on the show, but like no one knows who he is.
Like a friend of, essentially, I guess.
He allegedly told Ryan that JT said, like he had asked JT like, how's the show going or whatever, and he was like, oh, it's good, but there's this Black girl, like called her this Black girl on the show trying to or that likes me that's trying to get me to break up with my girlfriend. Like something to that effect, but refer to her in that manner instead of like by her name or like my friend or what, like just kind of dismissive. And basically when Leva brought it up to JT, it's like, okay, now you're being painted as racist, like not like first and foremost racist. And then right below that, it's like, you just look like a piece of shit because you're basically making it seem like Vanita is no one to you. And so obviously JT's like fucking pissed because he was like, I don't speak like that. I would never say like some black girl. Like I would never say that. And you could tell that like, I think he was being like, I don't know. I could see him saying, I don't know.
I could see him saying it and then, because you don't get previews.
No.
Okay, that's why I feel the way I feel. Because, Ryan and him have a conversation and Ryan's like, I would never make that up. And Ryan's married to a black man. And he was like, I'm not going to let someone tell me that what was told to me was not what was told to me and that I'm like fumbling words. And he was like, whether he actually said it or not, I can't prove because I wasn't there. But this is exactly what was told to me. And like, I don't know. It's
confusing because the barber
I could see JT trying to say something like that to think that he sounds cool or something. Like that's the thing. Not because he really feels that way, but because I think he's such a slimy chameleon that like whatever environment he's in, he tries to like make himself relevant or like says or does something that he thinks someone there will like. So I could see him saying that. I'm not saying he did.
Thinking it would get out because the barber is obviously not on the show and like not thinking. I guess I could too because and also like where they live, like racism is of course like, alive and I mean it is very much still like present in
one of my clients when she got back. And she travels everywhere. And she said, she was like, and she's Middle Eastern. And she was like, oh, that place is for sure strong in racism. Like, and she was like, not that you should look a certain way to be, prejudiced against, but like, she doesn't look, I mean, she doesn't look white, but you know what I mean? And she was like, I felt ostracized. Like I felt very uncomfortable. I was certainly treated differently. She's like, so I couldn't even imagine how it is for other people. So yeah. And then like in the episode, JT calls Vanita. Oh, so Vanita, when she hears about this, like she's distraught because of course, like for every level of reasons, like of course, if you hear that someone is making like a racial comment about you, like or reference, like fuck that. And especially if they're supposed to be your friend / love interest, whatever they are to you. She's telling him to calm down. Don't JT, breathe. I hear you. Just breathe. Just all right. Just take some deep breaths. I'm like, bitch, you think that this man is saying something racist about you and you're over here telling him to do breathing exercises?
Right. That just shows that like she's a liar because there's obviously more to the story because she doesn't even believe it.
They said JT's the Sienna in the situation and she's Shep.
I don't know. I want to hear from JT's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Someone commented on one of our videos saying that she came out and said that Vanita met the girlfriend before they even started filming. And like as JT's girlfriend. I'm like,
nothing on this timeline adds up. Nothing on the timeline adds up. Even if certain parts are true, collectively it still doesn't, and it's still giving different story.
Did JT go to the reunion? Yeah. I don't think, did he? For sure?
I saw a picture of him.
You did?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't know if I trust you.
That's true. That is true.
Because I just was looking at other outfits. I don't remember seeing him.
Yes.
I sent you pictures of them, and I don't think I remember. Maybe I do. Let me see. Because if he doesn't go to their reunion, I'm going to be so fucking pissed.
Oh, and speaking of people that didn't go to reunions, so Will and Emmy went on the Nick Viall podcast from Southern Hospitality to give their side of the story. Ugh, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. It's a lot of, word.
Give us the bullet points.
He's seen the cast members drastically change due to fame. He kind of feels bad about not going on the reunion.
Kinda.
Right. Because he knows that he upset a few producers, and so he doesn't know where his future lies with the show. He wants everyone to stay out of his relationship. He knew JT, he basically naturally goes castmate by castmate and blames everyone for all of these things that have nothing to do with him and the allegations against him. He said, you know what I mean? So it's just a word salad of please, I'm here to defend myself.
Mm-hmm.
But says nothing about the actual things that he should be addressing. And so then they, him and Emmy do it together. And then Emmy was he came right home and told me everything. And he doesn't care about my body. He wasn't saying it like that. He was saying it in a way in which oh, she works out a lot. She just keeps changing up her workouts. Should I be concerned?
What?
Right. That doesn't even make sense.
No.
It doesn't make sense.
If you were concerned, then he would have just said, I was saying it because I was concerned.
Not because he was confused that you keep switching up your workouts.
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah. Wow. It's so stupid. But yeah, getting back to Southern Charm, she's just, I can't. And then, my favorite part of the episode was when Shep was breaking down his feelings about, how he felt about the Sienna situation and everything. And he was maybe I think this is good. I think this is good. I think you have to experience this type of, hurt. And I don't know, maybe I haven't experienced it before. So this is good. And he said, getting your heart broke is your tapestry.
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever, Shep.
And then
whatever. Next week is the finale.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Yeah. It's just kind of lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of the men this season.
Mm-hmm. Which just goes to show you.
Which, I mean, is really what the show was, founded on. If you've been watching since the beginning, obviously, it was all about Thomas and Whitney and
their superiority.
Yep, superiority. Mm-hmm. So, whatever. But, yeah. And then, Paige and Craig, they have nothing in common, which we are seeing come out more and more. And I keep getting confused on, what happened on Summer House versus Southern Hospitality. I mean, Southern Charm. It's too much. But yeah. So anyways, moving on.
Real Housewives. Kyle and Boz had a great heart to heart.
It was really sweet.
I just love Boz's presence because you could tell that why she was so successful in business, because she lets no bias in. She has even though she has said what she has said and maybe does have some preconceived notions about Kyle, she is still so present in listening to every single thing that somebody says. And she is truly taking it in and comprehending it and then speaking on it. And I just value anybody like that, and it seems it doesn't even matter if she like didn't like someone, like she's still going to hear you out and she's still going to give you an honest, truthful answer and like prompt the right questions out of you. And like, I would love to have a conversation with her.
Yeah, she's really nice to like listen to her. Like you said, she takes it all in. She gives good feedback. You can tell she's being like really genuine. And Kyle was able to open up to her. She wanted her to be able to get to know her. And she opened up to her about like her separation and how like at the time they became friends or whatever, like Mauricio had just moved out, so maybe she was feeling closed off. And now how she's currently feeling about having just seen the picture and how that's kind of like changing how she feels, and like maybe this, you know, is really like the nail in the coffin essentially for her. And they obviously show her having the conversation with Mauricio and just kind of like realizing like this is the end of the marriage essentially. And that's really like hard and sad, and I would not want to be doing that on TV. So yeah, that was sad, but I think good. And I think that, I mean, we didn't like Kyle in the beginning of the season, and not that I'm like a huge fan now, but I do think the more that she opens up, the more likable that she is, because she's
the more
being
relatable,
real.
the more exactly like I can now feel for her versus before. I'm like, you're alone on your island. Like, we want to have compassion for you. You're not giving us an opportunity to. So now we are getting that. And then the reason that Boz was there was because she had planned this trip to St. Lucia. And so she was bringing everything over. And I'm sorry, her invitation / like gift bag, so good. Everyone gets a Telfar bag, like a Telfar beach bag. Like, are you kidding me? Like, yes, Boz. And then I just loved that she was like, I've done this, and this. And she was like, so if it's a bad vacation, it's on them. She's like, it's not my fault. She was like, and like the villas are beautiful. I think like the pairing of people in each villa is nice. And honestly, it seems like they're all in good spirits. It seems like it should be a fun trip. And then we get Jennifer Tilly. She apparently loves candy and travels with candy. And she's like, it spilled everywhere in her luggage.
And she's like panicked. She's like, what am I going to do? I need my candy. Like, what am I going to do? Like,
and there's like a lot of it. Like, it's not just like she had everywhere. Like a bag of M&Ms that she brought with her.
There's like sprinkles everywhere. I just love her so much.
I just love her just joy of life, it seems. Like, she doesn't, like, goes to the beat of her own drum and is, like, grateful for everything and just silly and fun.
She is literally the epitome of just happy to be here.
Literally. Like, literally.
I'm just happy to be here. Ugh, yeah, she's great. So it's going to be a fun trip to watch. Summer House. So the new guy, Emerald, we had talked about last week. He's very like open about his sexual adventures and everything, and he like brings another person home this week that they also didn't show on camera, which we've never really like seen them like not show people. So I don't know why they're doing that, but I thought that it was nice this week that he shared, like for several years, he was an undocumented citizen in the U.S. And I mean, it's very timely, of course, with what we currently have going on.
And this is the first Bravo conversation about it.
Yeah, I was going to say we have not ever seen this that I can recall or like on any of the shows I watch. So I just thought that was really great. And they were all, and even Paige said in the episode, she's like, we've never all listened so intently. And I think that's really important because it's an important conversation. And obviously he was also talking about like how he got married young and got divorced, and, you know, so they're listening for like gossipy reasons too. But I think his story was important. So I think it's important that he shared it and that Bravo shared it. And it's so timely. So
that was really cool. And then like, again, not that we're ever Danielle fans over on this side, but it's like her and Lindsay are supposed to be best friends and all this stuff. She is such a hater.
I know.
Because so Lindsay's they're asking her questions, about her pregnancy, her relationship, all these things, like where they're going to live. And she was like, we're going to live separately. And it was as if she said, I'm going to move away with the baby and we'll just be raising the child together via FaceTime. It was
and he doesn't want to help at all.
And Lindsay was like, and again, historically speaking, we typically are not siding with Lindsay, and she's typically also not rational about things.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was incredibly rational.
Mm-hmm.
It made complete sense. She was like, listen, I got out of an engagement. I reconnected with this person. We didn't even date for a long time. We got pregnant. That's already a lot for anyone.
And let me not make more decisions right now when I'm pregnant.
And she's like, that's enough stress on a relationship, to add in living together. And she was like, it's not like we're going to be apart. She's like, he's going to be at my apartment every single day. He is at my apartment. But there's not this added pressure of okay, now we're cohabitating in our space together versus this is my space that you're here and I'm here. And, it's a mental thing for sure.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Danielle, shut the fuck up. And that's cool if it doesn't work for you. And that's cool if you wouldn't do that. But that doesn't mean what she's doing is wrong. It actually makes a lot of sense because she even said, she was like, I thought I was going to marry someone. Mm-hmm. And then look what happened. And she was like, why would I move out of my apartment not knowing what's going to happen
with this, a pregnancy or a newborn or whatever. And it's Danielle, last season you were unhappy because they were going too fast. Now you're unhappy because she's not going fast enough. It's just let her be. You're not the queen of successful relationships. So shut up.
And you're so desperado. All you want to do is be with people, and you want to, this is the thing in any person, male or female. And it doesn't even have to be about love. It could be about anything. Don't portray yourself as this person of I'm strong, I'm independent, I don't care about things, this doesn't bother me, when every single thing that you do contradicts that.
Mm-hmm.
And, but then if someone says that, I don't know, because you're giving this, and then it's the most offensive thing that someone could ever say, and how dare they, and you pride yourself on this, and it's well, if you pride yourself so much, then start behaving with and have your actions match your words.
Mm-hmm. I thought, okay, one question, where the hell is Gabby? We saw her episode 1, she never came back, and she's a full-time cast member.
Yeah.
She just hasn't, we've seen Danielle more than Gabby, and Danielle's not even on this season.
Mm-hmm.
I just continue to love Jesse. He came out with a song, and which I think is pretty great.
It is good.
And I loved him on this episode. He continues to have this somewhat of a battle about the Lexi thing. And I love, they do this on Summer House every season where part of the cast will go out to dinner or something. And so they did that this episode. It was Amanda, Carl, Paige, Jesse, and West. And I just love when they do that because they get into conversations that normally they wouldn't with the whole house and stuff. So they're talking about dating, and they're making fun of Jesse because he's just going so fast or whatever. And whatever, it's just funny. And then later in the episode, when Jesse's talking to Sierra, and he's she kept saying everyone's saying you're such a boob guy and blah blah blah, and you love Sierra and Lindsay's boobs, and he's Paige doesn't have boobs and I'm still obsessed with her. And he's just so funny. And a part of me, it's the editing obviously is making Lexi look
insecure,
delusional, and it's when you, part of me is okay, she knows the way she is, she's a jealous girl, and that's great that she's upfront about that, and she's
mm-hmm.
This is what I am, I don't stand for my man doing X, Y, and Z, and that's great for her. She should say how she feels, and I don't want my man doing this, and that's fine. That's what she wants. He's probably not gonna be that guy for her, because
No.
that's not his personality, and that's okay. That doesn't make her wrong. It makes it like maybe like a lot of people don't agree with that, so she's probably getting like a lot of harsh criticism, but it's like she just doesn't want to waste her time, so that's why she's being upfront. She's like, well, I'm telling you up front, this is what I want. And so I think that's okay, even though I don't agree with it. But I just think he's just like so funny, and like he's like, no, I'm still obsessed with all these girls, and like his personality is so funny to me. I also don't know. I mean, I'm not like as extreme as she is. And obviously, if I was dating someone that I like trusted 100%, I wouldn't care. Like, I love that type of like funny, jokey with all of my friends and stuff. Like, I love that type of personality. But I would have to trust them 100%, obviously. And I also wouldn't date someone that I didn't trust 100%. So for her, I think it's hard coming into this friend group where it's like they're already all friends.
But I think
she
like that's my problem is like he was already very publicly friends with these people. Like, I think it's very different if you don't know the person. Obviously, you guys aren't on a show together. There's no context behind their friendships, you know.
Right. And they're already in relation. Like, Amanda's married. Paige time is in a serious relationship with Craig.
So like that's what bothers me is like you do have actual context that they are just friends, and like that this is who he is as a person. This is his personality. So like then it really is just your issue. That you have to work on. And like, yes, I think it's like okay to vocalize it, but it's not okay to keep vocalizing it because again, it is your issue that you are projecting onto him.
Totally. No, it's okay to vocalize it in the beginning. And then if it's not working for you, you need to step away. It's not okay to like keep bringing it up and like making him
seem like it's a problem. Like he's the problem.
This is not working for me. And like, that's okay to just say like, this isn't going to work. But I just think he's so funny, and like, he was like, I'm still obsessed with Paige and she doesn't have boobs. Like, he's just so funny. But yeah. So anyways, that was Summer House.
Okay, guys, we did start watching Temptation Island on Netflix. I watched this show like when I was younger, and then I want to say it came back like during COVID maybe.
Yeah, I did.
And then this is the first time it's on Netflix. So they released the entire season. And so I had texted Kelly like, because a lot of the shows are ending and we don't have any shows right now, even though it turns out it doesn't matter.
We had enough to talk about.
But I was like, okay, like, and she was like, yeah, I already started watching it. So like, perfect. And then she was like, ugh, no, I'm not liking it. And I was like, well, what episode are you on? Cause I had watched 4 episodes, I think already. And she hadn't watched that yet. And I was like, just give it a second. So if you guys have not watched it, you should definitely binge that because we will be recapping it next week because we have a lot to say about it. I love the show because of the fact that you just so clearly get to see the different dynamics between men and women and how each sex processes things.
Yes. We're going to recap the whole season because the whole season is out, like Kyra said. So next week we're going to recap the whole season. It's a good like binge. So if you want to follow along, you have a week now to watch. So yeah, that's something to look forward to next week in addition to the regular shows. And yay. So as always, we will end the episode with us talking about our goals because we like to talk about all the celeb gossip and things going on, but we always like to be learning and growing as well. So what is one thing you're working on this week?
Being decisive about what I want to do during my home facelift sessions.
Okay. Nice. I am learning to eat with stitches in my mouth. That's what I'm working on still. So yeah, it's going well. What is one thing you're looking forward to?
All the sunny days ahead.
Okay. The past 2 weeks you were looking forward to rain, and now we're back to sun.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week, like the weather looks. So I will be at the beach on Sunday. So hopefully you guys see me with like a slight sunburn, which will turn into I mean, I haven't been out in the sun a lot, so I'm probably going to burn, but my burn turns to a beautiful tan in like 2 days.
We're not a medical podcast.
We are a medical podcast. I didn't say I wasn't going to wear sunscreen. I'm going to wear sunscreen. I'm just going to be out. I have the perfect formula. So if you're looking to get a good tan, you need 3 2-hour sessions at the beach. hour on the front, hour on the back, 3 times. Great base coat. You'll look good. You won't burn the rest of summer. SPF 50.
You shouldn't burn.
Sure.
We did a whole episode. Oh, this just reminded me.
Mm-hmm.
One of my appointments this week was my breast care specialist.
Mm-hmm.
I had my 6-month checkup, and I will be going for my annual mammogram soon.
And we're going to take you guys along.
Just a reminder, be doing your self-checks, even if you
so check back in a couple weeks if you want to see Kelly's tits.
Exactly. Just a reminder to be doing your checks. Yeah.
And she'll be healed just in time to go on a date again.
No.
It's all coming together.
We have a dating segment coming up. I am looking forward to our dinner this week that got rescheduled from a couple weeks ago when it was raining, because now it's going to be nice.
It's going to be nice.
That's what I'm looking forward to. We haven't seen each other.
We haven't.
In like a long time. It's weird because we talk every day and we see each other on here every week. I don't even remember the last time we saw each other.
Galentine's.
Yeah, that was over a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And for the record, look who still has hair on her head.
Period. What is one thing that made you feel like an adult?
I got gas like on my way home from work versus like being like, oh, I'll just get in the morning, you know? And like, there's nothing more fulfilling than being like, oh my God, I did it. Like I did it. You wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, wait, I got gas last night. I'm good.
I did that this week too. I did it on Wednesday night, and thank God, because Thursday morning, it would have been
that to the list.
Like pouring rain and before my little surgery. But my thing that made me feel like an adult was driving myself to surgery that I didn't know was surgery. So yeah.
Kelly's was surviving open mouth surgery.
Leaving with blood on my face. Well, not fully leaving, but like half leaving. So yeah, that is all for this week. We hope you laughed with us and learned something. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you follow us, or wherever you're listening to us, Spotify, Apple, you know, all the things. All of our information is down in the description below. Make sure you rate, leave us a review, comment, share us with a friend, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.